Welcome to JJ Media TV. This is a channel where we explore the truth behind headlines. There are two appointments made yesterday and confirmed today in Nigeria. That is the head of the Federal Inland Revenue Services and AMCON, that is the Assets Management Company of Nigeria. So these are two MDAs managed by the Southwest, that is the Southerners. But incidentally, they are now being replaced by Northerners, both of them. One wonders and one finds it curious, when Buhari replaces Northerners, he replaces them with Northerners. When Buhari replaces Southerners, he replaces them with Northerners. There is nothing more to say than Buhari has been driving and is driving a Northernization agenda. My good friend and the friend of this channel, JJ Media TV, Charles Obu, wrote, and Charles argues that those who are expressing outrage at the festival of nepotism President Buhari has just demonstrated with the replacement of southern heads of Federal Inland Revenue Services and that of AMCON with Northerners are either lying to themselves or that they are lying to us all Nigerians. Either way, their outrage is devoid of any form of sincerity. Buhari has always been an open book. Of course, everybody knows that Buhari is an open book. And he has remained consistent. Buhari never hides it. He never changes. Consistent in evil. Everything he's been doing. I mean, we know the things he has been doing. Doing every single thing he's been doing up to today and today are things he has always been doing publicly, both in words, in deeds, in action, long before becoming president. His records has always been there for even the blind to see. All those his three previous attempts at the president, that is becoming the president of Nigeria. You remember he tried in 2003, in 2007, in 2011, and in 2015. And in those years he had Umezoke, Chuba Okadibo, and Tunde Bakari. And people keep arguing, why did Igbos not vote for him? Then you ask yourself, Igbos know and they see bad market. They are entrepreneurs. They see bad market from afar. When others cannot see the bad market, they see it and they know this is counterfeit. He brought two Igbo sons, Chief late Edwin Umezoke, and he brought Dr. Chuba Okadibo, the Oyi of Oyi, and yet Igbos never gave him votes. Even when he brought Tunde Bakari, who is incidentally a pastor and a Christian, Igbos never gave him votes. And eventually, he brought Osibanjo, Igbos still never gave him votes. He won in 2015. And even when he made his infamous mathematically wrong speech, the 5% and the 97%, which is mathematically impossible to equal 100%. And after the whole thing, the 2019 election, yet Igbos saw the bad market and still rejected Buhari. And this is what the Italians call capita rejectamento. No matter what it is, the Igbos saw and they never believed in him. Charles Obu continued, even when he picked southern running mates, he still didn't go around the south to campaign, but he campaigned in all parts of the north. Of course, because he so much believed in this in northern Nigeria and in Northernization and the concept of if I get the north, I can get every other place. Before the 2015 poll, the ex-soldier was repeatedly making known his position on every burning issues. For example, on security, he made it clear that Boko Haram terrorists represents his north, and as such, any attack on them was an attack on the north. This was enough to let every honest Nigerian know how he would treat any security problem caused by people who share his region and his religion. If you recall, Lieutenant General Ihejirika, when under Goodluck Jonathan, he was appointed the Chief of Army Staff. He went on offensive and very, very aggressively trying to push these guys away from the territories in Nigeria. The northern elite, supported and led by Buhari, started saying that any attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north. Have we forgotten? Have we? It's so sad, and it's so simple that Nigerians appear to have dementia, that they appear to forget so easily. On corruption, he told us all that the Nigerian most corrupt leader, Sani Abacha, under whom he, Buhari, served, and whose loot is still being returned to the country, even as we still speak today. He said to all of us that man, General Sani Abacha, is not corrupt. Yet, General Sani Abacha remained the only ancestor that knows when his children are broke, and he sends credit alert from beyond. The only ancestor that keeps sending Nigeria credit alert, a man who never stole, according to Buhari, but he keeps sending credit alert through Switzerland. This is a man we call the president. This statement was enough guide for any genuinely interested in knowing how the former military dictator would treat act of corruption perpetrated by his close friends and allies, especially those from his party or those from his part of the country who prays towards Mecca. On desperation for power and zero regards for human life, Buhari showed us all every single thing that we needed to see when he contested the 2011 poll on the platform of a little known, now defunct, Congress for Progressive Change, CPC. And predictably, he lost. But he refused to accept the result and incited his supporters in butchering innocent Nigerians. And then when we begin to think about it today, how could a almost unknown CPC have won a presidential election against a national party called the PDP? Even when then, the president, that's the former president then, Goodluck Jonathan government pleaded with him to just make a statement condemning the post-election killing, with the hope that his supporters will decode such a statement as a ceasefire instruction. Buhari vehemently refused. In the end, over 800 souls perished, all because he lost an election to a southerner. He lost an election he stood no chance of winning in the first place. How come anyone with a functioning brain, and we ask again, how can anyone with a functioning brain expect such a man to care about the lives of Nigerians? Even on religious extremism, intolerance and bigotry, Buhari left no one guessing as he went on making ill-advised, divisive statements like we said before, like he said in America that he would treat those that gave him 95% better. So he would treat those that gave him 97% better than those that gave him 5%, referring to the North and the Southeast and the South-South. So those filling our ears with false outrage over the continuation of the Northernization agenda within Nigeria today, we will tell you guys in pidgin English, waiting be on our own self, because what were you expecting? Quite frankly, we conclude, Buhari remains, and Buhari is a mistake no sane person ought to have made. An expression, and as we see today, whatever happens to Sowore is a clear indication that confirms what we believe at Njenje Media and what the whole old Eastern Nigeria that comprises of the today's South and Southeast believed in. That's why they never voted for him, because these are entrepreneur people who are traders, people who know fake and authentic. They knew that Buhari was bad market in 2003. They knew that Buhari was bad market in 2007. They also knew that Buhari was bad market in 2011. In 2015, Buhari remained a bad market. In 2019, the old Eastern region still believes that Buhari will still be a bad market. If he contests 20 times, the people of the old Eastern region knows that Buhari is a bad market. So, now the rest of Nigeria is saying it. It is time to go and apologize to the old eastern region, which is the southeast and south side, for all the unholy and silly utterances people have been making. It is time to apologize, to say to the eastern region, we are sorry. We didn't see what you people saw sitting down. There is an adage, African adage, that say, what an elder sees sitting down. Even if a child climbs the Iroko tree, they will not see it. Once more, this is Njenje Media Channel. Subscribe to the channel for more updates like this.